up, all you beautiful people? My name is Mahia, and I am your blind guide for today. And I wanted to talk to you about Saitama Realty. Now, it was supposed to go live yesterday, but they had to hold it back till, well, technically today, Friday, because they were having some technical difficulties, and people on iOS or iPhones weren't able to upgrade to the new version, but they got that fixed, and hopefully tomorrow everything will be good to go for the launch. And either one of two things is going to happen. Either there will be another delay, and if there is, it will be probably a huge hit to Saitama Inu. But at the same time, if everything goes smooth on Android, on iPhones, then this could be huge for them, because so many people are so bullish on Saitama Inu already that once this Saitama Realty comes available, that is going to be huge, because so many people are going to be piling into it. Because what you have to do is you have to take your ETH, trade it for Saitama Inu on the Saitama's website, and then from there you can trade it with Saitama Realty. So that'll be great for them. But if there is a delay, if they mess up, they could be going on a downtrend. So it kind of just depends what happens. If you're in it, I would wait maybe a little bit till you find out if it's happening tomorrow. And if it does look like that, and you are looking to increase your position, I would do it before Saitama Realty, because that could really pump the price parabolically, and you don't want to miss out on that. And you also don't want to have to buy way up at the top because you were hesitant on it, and then it goes down, and then you sell, and then it goes back up. Like, well, it pretty much happens to everybody at some point. So Saitama Inu, I could see tomorrow being, regardless, I think tomorrow is going to be a huge day for them. Now, whether it's going to be toward the positive or toward the negative, I don't know. But everything looks like it's checking out. They did do the iPhone upgrade for it. Everything seems to be smooth. The team is very confident that everything will go good tomorrow. And if it does, I think that'll be amazing for them, especially since they've had delays in a lot of other stuff. For the community and for people who are a little weary of the project for that reason specifically, they'll have a lot more confidence to get into it, which that'll be huge. Now, the next project I want to talk to you guys about is actually a new one. Right now it's in pre-sale, and you know how much I love if people can get into pre-sale. I mean, that's when you really can make your 100x opportunities in crypto happen, within a few days. Like, and if it does something like what Clifford Inu did, different launchpad, I don't know if it's going to do that. You could see like a 600x, within like the first week of it, first few days. So I think that could be really amazing for him. But the project is Luna 1, and if you're familiar with Ready Player One, it's pretty much like the Oasis from that, but in a metaverse. They're going to be doing teaching. There's going to be stores, malls where you can go shop around, pretty office buildings where you can work at. I don't know who'd want to work in the metaverse like that, but to each his own or her own. But it has so much potential behind it because so many people who really love the movie, um, there will be a lot of people piling into this, plus the utility. Oh, and there's gaming in their metaverse. So pretty much their thing is their metaverse is going to be an all encompassing um, pretty much like a metaverse that contains everything in the actual real world. So almost like a mirroring of maybe a certain city or something like that. But a lot of it is, Ready Player One Oasis, pretty much. And that one is called Luna One. Um, right now, like I said, you can get into pre-sale for it, and it's going to be at about 15 cents, not counting the extra, I think it's today 20% that you can get of the coin. But right now it's about 15. 56 days from now, it's going to be 25. They're raising the cost to get into it. So that means about, let's see, 65% move just in 50 some days, but most likely it's going to go way, way higher than that. Um, so I'm really bullish on this project to see what they can do. If they really can deliver everything they're planning on, it's going to be huge. They have so many different partnerships, and they talk about how a lot of companies are wanting to enter the metaverse. Like Facebook, Apple, a lot of the gaming companies, EA Sports, Blizzard Entertainment, um, places like restaurants, malls, everything is going to be in the metaverse pretty much. So they're jumping in at the exact right time. If they do everything right and don't hit a lot of roadblocks, I could see this one being a huge project, like one of the top metaverse projects, because I could see a lot of people really wanting to interact with this one because it's like an all-in-one inclusive platform pretty much. Like it's going to have a little bit of everything from the metaverse and so much more because they're really trying to make their metaverse the closest to reality as possible, at least from what I've gathered from it. So very excited to see it again. It's Luna One. They're in pre-sale. You can just look up how do I buy a Luna One token in pre-sale. So I just honestly think that one could be a huge mover, and I could see having some parabolic movements even. But either way, it's guaranteed about a 65% just by waiting, by staying in it 56 days. So I think that's pretty awesome. And when you get into it, if it runs up right away, way above that 56% gain, then take profits or get out of it altogether. It's completely up to you. This is not financial advice. I can't tell you specifically what to do. I can tell you what I'm doing and what I would be doing. Now, I'm currently not invested into this project, full disclosure. I did not get paid for this video or anything like that. It's just I'm really big into pre-sale, and if a project has just some utility and some recognition by the name, like their whole thing is Ready Player One, then that coin, that token, is most likely going to have parabolic movements on the very first day. Within the first, I'd say 72, maybe 90 some hours, it will have some really big gains. So I would definitely look into that one and just kind of see what you think about it. And if you want to get into it, again, not financial advice, but I could see it being a amazing opportunity if you can get into it on the pre-sale. And the next one I want to talk to you about is Shiba Inu. Now, the Ethereum whales are buying up so much. We got the Shiverse coming out soon, Shibarium, uh, the Shi token, ShibaNet, just so many catalysts coming up. Not to mention, we know how much they're expanding into the real world. They got the Wellies fast food franchise, and I say fast food, but it's high quality fast food. It's not the crap we get from McDonald's that have, you know, 10, 15 different ingredients is just to get us hooked and to make their food last forever. So I think it's going to be really good food. Their partnership with John Richmond, now that is going to put them on basically on the millionaires radar. Anyone who's into fashion too, it's a very high end business. The high end fashion is. So essentially, the people who are going to see this are people that would have a lot of money to throw into ship. So I think it's a good idea. Their burns are just they just keep going every day. You'll see, like, if you look at the burn thing at Etherscan and you look at their burns, you'll see like 22 hours ago, 18 hours ago, 15 hours ago, 12 hours ago. Like, it just keeps, it only lasts a few hours between each burn, and there's so many different people burning it. Shout out to Stephen Cooper at Vigor Entertainment. He's burned so much of it already and has brought so much attention to the fact that it needs to be burned, and through everything that's coming out, Doggy Dow, Shi Token, ShibaNet, Shibarium, the Satoshis. It's just going to add so much more burning momentum. Plus, it's going to make this a really sought after token. So again, so bullish on Shiba Inu. Now, my lower market cap choice that I could see flipping Shiba Inu this year, like, regardless if it catches up to it and flips it this year or not, I see it being in the spot that Shiba Inu is in currently. Now, Shiba Inu, it could take off. It could easily jump back into the top 10. But Zombie Inu, Xenu, little twisted Shiba Inu that's going around the blockchain, multiple blockchains, and infecting people and growing the zombie mob. I think that's a really good project, and not just because of the little story behind it, but if you've seen any of their videos on Twitter, it is incredible, like, what they're putting into it. This is like cinematic movie style stuff. Like, it's just so impressive. It's so obvious that their marketing team, their entire team, is just amazing. I mean, people from Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Intel. You got Digger Mesh, who is like the king of figurines and stuff like that. They just rented the largest billboard in Times Square, which this weekend the zombie mob is gonna mobilize a mass media marketing campaign, basically by having almost like an impromptu meet and greet where they're asking anyone who's a zombie mob holder to take and who can get there, take pictures, take videos, share it on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, just everything. So I really, really can't wait to see what happens. And as we get closer and closer to the 23rd, I'm sure they're going to be dropping more and more and more news. This is one I could see having 100 to 1,000x sometime in the next 12 months. Like, this is a project I'm so bullish on. This summer, I honestly see them going 100x at least. But I mean, a lot of stuff's dependent on that. Whatever they decide to say about regulations, everything that's going on in Ukraine with Russia trying to, or well, with Russia invading them. So it's a really tumultuous time, but cryptocurrency is not going anywhere, and it's really showing its utility and the fact that people can't get in their banks, they can't get to their money. They earned it. It is their money 100%. But banks, a lot of times, are either running into difficulties like technical errors or have to put a cap on. You only can withdraw so much, and that's not right. Everyone needs access to their own hard-earned money, and crypto is doing that. More than that, people are able to send money around the world to people who need it. Ukraine, for example, last I saw their thing, it was at like 30 million for their crypto wallet, but of just donations. But I'm sure it's a lot higher. A lot of people in Ukraine have been able to afford bus tickets and stuff like that, just by selling some of their art in the form of like NFTs and stuff, I think. So it's just amazing. Now, again, I don't know if they're turning their art into NFTs and selling them, or if they're selling physical art. I'm assuming it's NFTs because in this whole situation, I think that would be easier and make more sense, and the average person could do it. So I think it's really, really helpful. But I gotta get off here, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And don't forget about the Saitama Inu Realty thing, especially if if you're a holder of them, or if they're a project you're really interested in and want to try to get into it before they go parabolic. Because what the project is doing, teaching the next generation about cryptocurrency, finance, and whatnot, I think that's amazing. Like, the only reason I'm not a holder of it is because I missed out on that first initial parabolic run, and now I'm still waiting from Social Security to get my Social Security card so I can get my ID back and start doing all this again. Because I'm not on vacation or not on hiatus. I'm just blocked out of everything pretty much, and it's killing me because just I know a lot of, and not to brag, but a lot of the players I've called on this channel have done amazing numbers, and yes, some of them I was involved in, but when I got pretty much blocked out of everything, KuCoin, I couldn't do Coinbase, I couldn't get on Uniswap or PancakeSwap, just, yeah, pretty much nothing. So definitely make sure to keep up on your ID and Social Security card and all that, just in case. I didn't really have a choice. It wasn't that I lost them myself. It's a long story, but yeah, just do not make the same mistake I did, because yeah, you need to have a backup plan for if something does happen to your Social Security card or just whatever, because if you're dealing in crypto, you do need that to verify who you are, because KYC, know your customer, has been getting more and more the norm because with regulations coming on, and also it just makes customers feel a lot more comfortable which I do like that. I really do. I hate that I'm blocked out of everything, and I at this point I don't know what I can do. But don't let that happen to you. Um, I hope you guys have an amazing night. In the next video, I'll bring you guys a lot more about Zombie Inu, Zelda Inu, and all the other ones I'm really bullish on. But when I saw that Ready Player One thing with Luna One, then that just really got my attention. It's pre-sale, automatic 65% increase by 56 days from now. But if anything, I have a feeling it's going to go up parabolically, and then by that 56 days, it might have cooled off a little bit. I honestly don't know, but I think this amazing project to get into. And the 25 cents might just be what they're going with when they go public, which I'm pretty sure is what they are doing. But for this pre-sale, I mean, it's not like private institutions or anything like that. Like, anyone who's watching this video can get into it. And I suggest you at least consider, maybe look into the project a little bit. But I think it's a really good one. And at least for short-term momentum, I think people could make a lot of money in this play. And last thing I wanted to say, as always, please, if you can, in any way possible, support Ukraine, whether it's just gathering awareness, words of encouragement and kindness when they're going through this terrible tragedy where foreigners to them are invading their country, and nobody seems to know why. I mean, we've heard some crazy excuses coming from the Kremlin, but I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't want to get too political on this channel. I just want to say NATO, if they were to let Ukraine join tomorrow, have an emergency meeting, let Ukraine join the NATO, then the second that happened, everyone could get on the phone with Putin and let him know, and he would know because he makes sure to know what's going on, eyes and ears everywhere, But not any like conspiracy theory stuff. Just he has a lot of connections, and he's obviously going to be trying to find out exactly what's happening in NATO before it happens. But if Ukraine was accepted into NATO, he would have no choice. He's not going to try to go against the 30 countries of NATO. Like, there is no way he would try that, because that would cause a revolt in his country. Because all the Russians, they would not want that. They would not want a chance for World War III, where 30 countries are against them. Like, it would solve all of the problems pretty much instantly. A lot of people say how crazy and insane and whatever Putin is, but he's using some caution. Like, he's not going at this as hard as he could, and he's been doing a lot of what I would call just posturing, with nuclear drills and sending out this huge convoy that couldn't even make it. I feel like that was a little bit of, not necessarily a bluff, but like, we're going to send this convoy. It's going to take, way longer than we expected it to, but as long as this convoy's right here of death, pretty much, the Ukrainians might have a second thought about staying and fighting. At least some might flee, which will make it a lot easier for them. But obviously that's not what's happening, and not gonna happen, because the people in Ukraine, they love their country. They're true patriots, and they're not going to roll over for tyranny. Even if the rest of the world won't help them in a physical fight the way they should, it doesn't mean they're not going to give up. They understand there's nothing they can do about that, so they're just going to keep on doing what they do. And I think it's up to NATO to do what is right and have the Ukraine join them. And I know there's a whole process, but there's no reason they couldn't do an emergency meeting and get Ukraine adopted into NATO, and all this would be gone. All the bloodshed, by now I'm sure it's 20 some children that have died, if not a lot higher. It's sad, it's sick, it's a tyrannical ruler pretty much, just flexing his muscle and trying to get as much land as he can, because he's playing on a different scale. He's playing chess and Monopoly at the same time. He's wanting to be steps ahead of everyone, but at the same time, he's trying to gather as much land as he can and resources so he can consolidate for what I would think is step 2 if he got the Ukraine. Because it's not stopping at the Ukraine. I guarantee that. Like, the Ukraine is just the beginning of it. And if they fall, we all fall, because it's going to mark the beginning of something no one is looking forward to, and a lot of innocent lives will be lost. And I can't believe the world is just letting that happen, because by not coming to Ukraine's defense, other than sanctions and sending them weapons and stuff, they need soldiers. They need tanks. I know they have soldiers, but they need more. They need America and NATO to step up and show the world. When we said we would never let this happen again after World War II, we meant it, and we will not. Ukraine is going to be accepted into NATO, and if Putin doesn't back off, then it's going to be 30 countries basically at his throat. And he will not continue that, because Russia would not survive that. Not to mention, if something looked like, it was going to take all of Russia down, I wouldn't want to be Putin. Like, just historically, what's happened in Russia when they've faced situations like that, yeah, I would not want to be him. Not to mention what all the other countries in the world might do. But I'm sorry that I got onto a rant about this, but I feel so strongly about it. It's something I have to talk about. Not to mention that this is a huge move for crypto, because so many people see the real world value to it now, and that when banks fall down, when banks fall down because of electrical technical difficulties, whatever, crypto is still around. And I think a lot of people are realizing that now, and realizing like how much it can help people in need, the charitable contributions it can bring. And I think we're not very far from seeing institutional investors piling in heavy, to the tune of about $100 trillion, according to most analysts. And I am a strong believer that that's where it's going, because it's made huge moves already. So I can't wait to see what they have in store and what's going to happen with crypto. Always super bullish on Shiba Inu and Zombie Inu. Like, I can't wait to see Zombie Inu, what they do, and I can't wait to see them catch up to Sheeb, because I could see those two kind of going back and forth and flipping each other the way Shiba and Doge did for a little bit there. But other than Elon Musk and a few celebrities, I don't know how long I see Doge being around. But I mean, if they can find some new stuff to do with it, maybe. But right now, like, there are so many cryptos with so much utility. So I'm surprised all these places are saying we won't accept meme coins, like Robinhood saying that, but they have Doge. Like, Doge's utility compared to Shiba Inu it's nothing. Like, you can't compare them. I mean, no one can really make that argument unless they know nothing about Shiba Inu and just basically go with, oh, well, these people say it's a meme coin, so it is, so it has no value. When I consider Shiba Inu to have more value than almost any other crypto, and Zombie Inu is right behind it, and the zombie mob is going to be running past the moon, past Mars, into a whole nother galaxy. Like, I cannot wait to see what they do when these NFTs get dropped. Oh, that's going to be amazing for any Xenu holders. But I love you guys. Stay positive, and I will talk to you soon. And have a good night. And remember, when stuff goes red, if you have confidence in the project, buy the dip. Not financial advice, but that's what all the millionaires do, and that's what all the institutional investors do. They buy the dip. If they're